They called her a monster, a creature so terrifying that one look would turn men to stone. They told stories of her snakes, her curse, her ugliness, but they never told the truth. Medusa was not born a monster. She was made before the serpents, before the curse, before the fear. Medusa was something far more dangerous, beautiful, desired, admired, wanted. And that is where the story really begins. Because men don't destroy what they fear. They destroy what they desire but cannot control. In the temples of Athena, Medusa served as a priestess, pure, disciplined, untouchable. But discipline means nothing to men ruled by impulse. Then came Poseidon, not a man, a god, powerful, entitled, untouchable. And like many men who mistake power for permission, he took what he wanted. And here is where the myth reveals its darkest truth. The crime did not create the monster. The response did. Because when Medusa was violated, she was not protected. She was punished. Athena, goddess of wisdom, did not defend her, did not protect her temple, did not punish the one who caused it. Instead, she transformed Medusa, beauty, into horror, grace into fear, life into isolation, snakes for hair, a gaze that kills, a face no man could survive. Why? Because men, and even gods, cannot tolerate what exposes their failure. Medusa became the symbol of something deeper, the consequence of uncontrolled desire. Think about it. A woman turned into a monster because a powerful being could not control himself. And instead of correcting the weakness, the world chose to erase the evidence. That's what Medusa is. Not evil, not chaos, but a mirror. She reflects what men fear most, the consequences of their own actions. And once she was changed, the world didn't ask why. They didn't question the injustice. They didn't seek truth. They hunted her. Because it's easier to destroy what you created than to admit you created it. Warriors came. Heroes came. Men hungry for glory came, not to understand her, but to kill her. Because killing the monster is easier than confronting the truth behind it. And this is where the story becomes dangerous for you. Because Medusa is not just mythology. She is pattern. Every time a man lacks discipline, something breaks. Every time desire overrides control, something is destroyed. Every time power is used without responsibility, something becomes a monster. And then men ask, why is the world like this? You created it. Weak men create chaos, and then blame the chaos. Undisciplined men create destruction, and then fear the consequences. Emotionally driven men create monsters and then call themselves victims of them. That is the legacy of Medusa. She didn't chase men. Men chased her. She didn't destroy blindly. She became what the world forced her to become. And once transformed, there was no going back. Because the most dangerous thing about transformation is this. Once something becomes a monster, it adapts to survive. Medusa didn't beg. She didn't plead. She didn't explain. She existed. And existence alone was enough to terrify men, because her presence reminded them of something they could never escape: responsibility. And then came Perseus, the hero, the savior, the man who would end the monster. But even that was not what it seemed. Perseus did not face Medusa directly. He couldn't. No man could. He used reflection, distance, strategy, detachment. And that's the final truth of this story. Men cannot confront the consequences of their actions directly. They must distance themselves from it, detach from it, rationalize it. And then they destroy it. Perseus cut off her head. Victory, glory. A monster defeated. But what they don't tell you is this: even in death, Medusa was still powerful. Her head remained a weapon, used, controlled, displayed. Even after destruction, she served the same system that created her. That's the cycle. Create, destroy, control. So what does Medusa teach you? Not sympathy, not victimhood, but discipline. Because this is not about her. It's about you. If you cannot control your desires, you will create consequences you cannot control. If you misuse power, you will create destruction you cannot reverse. If you act without awareness, you will build the very thing that destroys you. That is the real curse. The world is full of Medusas, not because monsters are born, but because men lack control. Weakness creates chaos. Chaos creates consequences. Consequences become monsters, and then men spend their lives fighting what they created. So the question is simple. Are you a man who creates monsters, or a man who controls himself before they are born? Because once they exist, it's already too late. Medusa was never the monster. She was the warn.